Amazing Emergency Exit and Watch for Rolling Rocks are the 5th and 6th stars in Hazy Maze Cave respectively, and they have an almost identical strategy in the real-time A-button challenge. As such, I'll be explaining the strategy as one thing, and note when they diverge. The intended strategy for both of these stars use 2 A presses each. For Watch for Rolling Rocks, you have to jump into a wall kick, and then once you're on the platform you can dive recover into the star. For Emergency Exit, you have to jump to get past the toxic maze, and then press A again to long jump to the star platform. Once you're on the star platform, you can dive recover into it. The world record holders for both of these stars are different people, being Billy Warr for Watch for Rolling Rocks, and Ivan178 for Amazing Emergency Exit. They start the level by going to the bottom of the map, navigating it quite easily without having to jump. There's nothing too special to say about this, so this is going to be sped up. Once they reach the bottom of the map, being the large open cave that Dory resides in, then things start to get interesting. They collect the metal cap and then move to open the gate that would ordinarily lead to Metalhead Mario Can Move. They have no need to go into this area, however, and they only need the gate itself. The gate, once opened, will allow them to build practically an unlimited amount of speed. Walking on a slippery slope that is submerged underwater at an almost parallel yet still uphill angle allows Mario to gain negative speed. Negative speed doesn't have a cap on it, so they can gain as much speed as they want. The reason why they want the gate is to use the ceiling. The ceiling of the gate allows Mario to not have his physical position be changed but still build up speed, since the game recognizes that Mario's next intended position is inside of the ceiling, and the game doesn't want Mario to be inside of his ceiling. Instead of moving Mario at all, he stays in place, but he gets to keep all of his speed. For a more detailed explanation of hyperspeed walking, I recommend Panenkoek's Watch for Rolling Rocks video. He goes into more detail about how it works and what applications it has for the task route. After building up roughly 1,000 speed from walking under the gate, Mario's next intended position becomes past the gate ceiling, and they break free into the water. Although it appears that they have just lost all of the speed that they spent minutes working to build, they actually still do have it, just in another form. The game has multiple ways it handles how fast Mario is going. If you're walking, then the game pulls from your regular speed. However, if you're sliding, then the game pulls from a separate variable just called your sliding speed. Sliding speed and regular speed are usually always the same thing. However, they can be desynced under certain circumstances, such as by grabbing onto a pole or going into water here. Once the sliding speed is conserved into the water, they can freely move inside of the water without losing all that speed. Even swimming with the A button keeps all of it. Now they need to set up their angle and wait for Dory to pass by. Once he swims in front of them, they can just swim onto his back, and they fly forward with all of their speed. Why does this happen though? If you just try swimming onto his back, then you don't go anywhere, and all of your sliding speed gets reset to 0. However, if you were to crouch on the same frame that you are on his back, then you would be able to reactivate some of that speed. The forward sliding speed cap is 100, however, so while this would move you forward a little bit, it doesn't give you the momentum to shoot forward like Mario just did. What they do is they press Z and C up on the same frame, then it reactivates all of that speed. The reason why pressing C up allows them to activate all of their speed as opposed to just 100 is because it puts you into a C up slide. The game doesn't have the same speed cap when C up sliding as it does when you're put into a regular sliding speed reactivation. With all this speed, they jump extraordinarily high, way higher than any other jump you could regularly do in the game. Why does this jump go so high though? Well, the height you gain from a jump is directly proportional to the amount of horizontal speed you have. This can easily be seen in-game just by jumping into the star in Princess's Secret Slide. When you get the 21-second star and have all of that speed from sliding down the slide, jumping into the star will shoot you much higher than a regular jump. Your forward speed being instantly brought to 0 also makes the extra height much more obvious. This is a formula for jump height, but a better way of showing it is with this graph. As you can see, there is no limit to how high a single jump can go, and in fact you can even get negative height with jumps if you have enough negative speed. This doesn't have any use in the real-time A-button challenge, but it does find its way into other speedrun categories, such as in 16 stars sometimes, and 1 key. With a speed of 1000, Mario will jump 11,000 units into the air before falling, going far above the highest reachable point in the map. Since both of the stars are at the highest points in their respective areas in the map, all they have to do is just adjust their position in the air and they can fall onto the platforms with the star. If they miss the star directly, it's not too difficult to just dive or cover into it. So how could these stars be brought down to 0.5 or 0 apresses? The task for Amazing Exit is done in 0 apresses and uses an entirely different route. You have to do scuttlebug transportation to move one to under the Amazing Exit platform, then use swooper manipulation to get to the Amazing Exit platform here. Before you're going through the door though, you have to do scuttlebug raising, and once you're near the star, you bounce off of it in order to get to the star platform itself. I'm glossing over it because it's very complicated and it's not the main focus of this video. If you want to learn more about scuttlebug raising or scuttlebug transportation, then Watch Rolling Rocks uses this in its 0.5 apress strategy that Panacoic has explained. Marbler has said that it may be possible to adapt this into an RTA viable route, however, as of the time of writing this video, it hasn't been done in practice. It still seems to be on the back burner, however, in place of 70 star and 2 apresses, and it may be done eventually in 0 apresses, provided all the pieces fall into the right place. The task record for Watch Rolling Rocks is 0.5 apresses, and it is extraordinarily more complicated. Instead of building up 1000 speed and using Dory, Mario has to use hyperspeed to snap to different hyperspeed spots to gain speed even faster. Then he has to do parallel universe manipulation to move around the stage and to bounce on the scuttlebug to reach the star platform. This process takes over 5 hours, and it is impossible for humans to do for several reasons. The scuttlebug raising itself is already extremely difficult, as explained earlier, and the quicker generation of hyperspeed that this task uses could never be done by a human. There is the old strategy of just staying in the initial hyperspeed spot and turning around to build up speed infinitely, but this takes more than double the amount of time, and the PU movement is still not viable. While it may be possible eventually for Emergency Exit to be brought down to 0.5 or 0 apresses, it is almost certainly impossible for Watch Rolling Rocks to be brought down. These stars have already been extremely optimized both in terms of apress count and in terms of speed, and both of these runs should not be understated for how impressive they are.